Welcome everybody to Good Humans with Women and Weapons. I am going to go ahead and kick it off and hand it off to Dane.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Like Sarah said, welcome to tonight's episode of Good Humans with Wow. My name is Dane, and I will be your co-host this evening alongside Sara and Jake Baumann, the creators of Women and Weapons brand and the NFT collection. Tonight we have a very, very unique and special guest who is joining us. Rhea Raj is a New York-based Indian-American singer, songwriter, dancer, producer, and pop artist. The 21-year-old artist actually fell in love with music in her mother's home studio, where she learned classical Indian and Bollywood dance. At 15 years old, Rhea auditioned for the farewell season of American Idol, and she spent the next couple years top-lining major label EDM records and collaborating with artists, rappers, and producers from around the world. After signing her first publishing deal, she was named the 2020 Songwriters Hall of Fame BMI Award recipient. Her singles Venom, Atmosphere, and MVP premiered on Rolling Stone, and she is the founder of Mischief Records. She has a really unique sound, persona, and an international appeal that I think really, truly makes her a unique artist. So we are so happy to have her here this evening, and to be able to get the chance to talk to her about integrating music into NFTs, and also just how in the world someone this talented and busy has found the time to get involved in the NFT space. So I am gonna go ahead and hand it back off to Sara and Jake so that we can bring in the guest and get the show started for the night.
Thank you so much, Dane. And by the way, it is just Sara tonight. Jake is off working. But I do want to let everybody know the song that I had playing at the beginning of the show as we were all entering in was one of Rhea's new songs titled Venom. It has almost 200,000 views on YouTube. And I have pinned that video up at the top of the page if anybody wants to check it out after the show. But Rhea, are you ready, my dear? Do you have anything you want to kick it off with?
Hello, guys. Thank you for that intro. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, huge fan of your collection and the arts, and just excited to see you guys supporting women in the arts, entertainment, NFT space. So thank you. And hi, everybody. Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, we're super happy to have you, and it's been nice getting to check out some of your music and different stuff you've been involved in. So I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of yours as well. So I think this is going to be really cool.
Likewise. Well, my dear, are you ready for kicking it off with questions?
Yes, let's go.
So I know Dane kind of mentioned a little bit about your background and that you grew up with your mother's Indian music and Bollywood dancing. Do you have any more that you can tell us about like how you became a musician? Was it primarily like through your family that you got into music? Has it just been ingrained in you since you were very young? Like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so just to give you guys like a little background, my mom is from India. She's born in India, and she was raised in Dubai in Saudi Arabia. And my dad is from Sri Lanka, and he was raised in India. And so growing up, I was I like had this fusion of Indian music, Arabic music. They also loved like rock and like American pop music. So just like grew up with like such a big kind of like diverse sound, I guess, like music from all over the world. And my mom was a dance teacher, and she taught classical Indian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she taught belly dancing, Bollywood, all of that from home.
So
she
cool.
had like, her home studio. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so sick. I would like come home from school every day, like preschool all the way till high school, and she would be teaching in our living room like a boss, running her business from home.
Oh my God.
She converted our whole living room into a dance studio, so it was just like coming home to like music and always like just like people dancing, and it was such a fun environment to be raised in, constantly hearing music from around the world.
I love that
was she a musician? Did she play any instruments or anything, or?
She has a really nice voice. She's actually a great singer, but she always like gravitated towards dance and movements and yoga. But her brother is a classical Indian singer and has an incredible
Oh,
voice.
wow.
So, yeah,
So
music
it's
definitely
definitely in your
comes.
family.
Yeah, it's definitely in my family. It comes from her side. My dad is like super corporate, like business guy, super smart, but like
They balance each
definitely
other.
they balance each other. The music definitely did not come from him, but
That's
definitely
smart.
like, you know, running the business and creating my own label is like something he was always like, you know, encouraged me to do and has been supportive from that side. But
Wow.
I mean, even he loved music. He just grew up like, you know, always blasting like Nirvana and Iron Maiden and like just heavy metal music like all his life. And that's what I also grew up listening to. And
That
So
so,
is
yeah, that's
awesome.
honestly, that's a good
yeah.
segue because what were some of I know you mentioned, growing up in that environment, the dance was there, the music was there. You obviously had, a very creative mother and a smart father, and they supported you. But
Mm-hmm.
did you have specific influences that led you to find your own sound, or just artists that you really enjoyed? You mentioned Nirvana, but I mean specifically growing up, who did you listen to? Who helped sort of create your unique sound and vibe?
I think definitely like for my own music, I mean, I listen to so much stuff, but for my own music, I still to this day, like my whole life, my favorite thing to listen to is like super girly diva, like female pop artists like Rihanna, Beyonce, Britney, like early 2000s pop, Christina Aguilera, just like big voices, powerful like messages, just people like who feel really confident and sexy and love dancing on stage, you know. Um, but also like
You know what? I
NIH.
actually really get that vibe from some of your stuff. That's hilarious that you said that because I
Yes.
definitely get sort of the Christina Aguilera vibe and
Oh my God,
Totally
yay.
agree with Dane on this front. I totally
for
feel
real.
that. And your dancing is incredible. I wish I could do that. I wish I had those moves. Unfortunately, I don't. So please teach a sister a little something about that.
Oh my God,
I
I would
know,
love
man.
I
Your dancing is unreal.
thank you. Thank you. I like had a weird like I grew up dancing because of my mom and then like I went through like my teenage phase where I was like just so awkward and uncomfortable like expressing myself that way and so I like stopped dancing for a little bit and then
Oh.
I moved to New York when I was like a little older and fell back in love with dancing and then it made me fall in love with making music even more than before because I was like in the studio writing like producing music too and just feeling everything in my body and that's such a unique and like special way of like you know just falling in love with the music making process and like actually feeling all the sounds and you know the messages like through your body. It's a crazy feeling.
Isn't that the truth though? Like I feel like I totally move differently depending on the type of music that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious, like, do you choreograph your own dances for like the music videos and what have you?
So I like I like co-choreograph. So for
Yeah.
the Venom, the one that's pinned here, that video um is like full heels choreography. And so I started doing like heels, kind of street jazz, hip hop a couple years ago. And the lady who did all the choreography for this video, her name's Charlene Quigley. I have to give her a shout out because she's fire. She's like been on tour with Missy Elliott and she's choreographed for Rihanna and just like, you know, icons. And so I like hit her up about doing this and was just kind of like, like I'm an independent artist, but I have this song and she was super down and she loved this song and she choreographed this with me. And it was so much fun because it's a heels piece and it's super sexy, but it's also fierce and like this whole song is about like the symbolism of the snake and snakes are huge in India and they have such a strong like cultural significance there. And so like kind of bringing in some poses from like even my classical Indian dance backgrounds, like which is the very first pose in the video. And just like those little things was important to me. But yeah, shout out to her because she killed it with that choreography.
Yeah,
That is
that's an
so
awesome
neat.
show.
You both really killed it. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
I mean,
you.
watching you, I'm like, there was one thing you did where you kind of like did a back bend in the video and
Oh
like
my God,
Yeah.
yeah.
didn't land on your head horribly. And I was like, okay, girl, I see you.
You know what? I
Okay.
actually have a question. When you're doing the shots for it and you're dancing, do you ever have a moment where it totally goes terribly wrong and you're just cracking up and it's like fun? Because it's such an intense kind of sexy music video and the dance, but is that kind of how it goes? I always wondered.
Oh yeah, there's like, I mean, definitely there's, because it's a video, there's some room to like, you know, if you do fall on your, which I did, like fall on my head once, and luckily, thank God I didn't like injure myself, but it was funny. And I was on this like slippery tile floor, and I did fall, and we were all like dying for a few minutes. But it's crazy because I also do this stuff live. I have like on my live shows, I do full dance choreography in heels, and that's when it's really stressful because like you can, if you fall or something, you know,
God
you
bless
can laugh
you.
it off, but it's scary. It's definitely like with
You're like,
videos.
ankles don't fail me now.
Oh God,
No,
yeah.
for real. You have
Dude,
to like
I have
really
like
be on point.
major respect for you or to you in regards to wearing the heels, because I wore heels to dinner with Bobby Hundreds this past week and I am still recovering from the blisters all over my feet. So
Oh
it
my
will be
God.
sneakers for a hot minute over here for me. But I also have to say, I really respect your hustle. Like, clearly, I'm a woman who loves to empower other women. And I mean, you and I talked a couple weeks ago, I want to say, and you can seriously hustle, sister. I mean, you are incredible with networking, with marketing yourself, with the business end of things. You're an incredible musician, obviously, producer, choreographer. I mean, you're really skilled in so many different areas, and it's really impressive. So major snaps to you for all the incredible things and all the various bases that you cover.
Thank you so much. That means so much, you know, coming from you, and huge fan of your work and what you're doing, you know, to uplift women in this space. So thank you. I mean, to be like,
Absolutely.
honestly, like I've been working in this industry since I was 10. I lived in Dallas, and you're from Dallas too, see? I was in
Yeah,
Dallas.
we were neighbors.
Woo!
No, literally, that's so crazy.
We're all three
I
from
grew up in
Dallas.
Dallas. Oh yeah, look
That's
at
Except that
that.
insane.
Dane and
It's the
I are like
Texas
old enough. We
crew.
probably could have babysat you or something
Oh
back
my
then.
god.
Yeah. Maybe I did. Maybe I taught you some moves.
Oh my gosh, of course. I'm dead.
Rhea, I am so curious to hear about your auditioning for American Idol at 15. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
were
my
you terrified? How'd you find out about it? What was it like? Like, spill the tea.
I grew up watching American Idol like since I was a baby, and I loved Kelly Clarkson. That was like my favorite show. And like, as a kid, like every week that it was on, like my family would huddle around the TV and like watch it. So I was just a huge fan of the show. And then in 2015, they were like, "Oh, this is the final season of American Idol ever, and you have to be 15 to be on the show." So I had just turned 15. They were just like announcing this. So I was like, oh my god, this is like the one opportunity, like let me just go for it. And so I auditioned, and I mean, I feel like this is kind of like public knowledge now, but a lot of people still don't know that before that like TV audition airs, there's like multiple audition stages before that you know is like behind the scenes. And so I did all of that. I met the whole production crew. They really loved me. I was like doing this Whitney Houston song on the piano, How Will I Know. I did that like a stripped down like rendition as a 15-year-old. It was hilarious. But yeah, I went on then I did the audition on air, and I walked in, and you know, it was me, J-Lo, Keith Urban, and Harry Connick Jr., just like the four of us in a room, and then a crew of like 30 people around me. And I was like, holy shit, just like super
Yeah,
just,
that's nerve
it was
wracking.
crazy. Yeah, I grew up performing like years before that. I've been on huge stages, but that was my first time really being like in front of that many cameras, and just in the back of your head. First of all, J-Lo sitting in front of me like
Yeah,
was
you're a little starstruck right
Yeah,
off the
no
bat.
kidding. Totally.
yeah.
I don't think I would be able to function.
It was crazy. She's such a sweet. she was so sweet, and she was like a mom. She was being so sweet to me. But also just having like 50 cameras in my face, I was like, what is going on? But it was amazing. I like sang the Whitney Houston song. I was playing the piano, and that was like the first time I got on like I was performing, and I kind of felt myself leave my body, if that makes sense. And I was like just living in the moment and having fun. And I was like, oh my God, no matter what happens in this moment, like, you know, if I make it to Hollywood or not, whatever, you know, it was fun.
You were in the moment. You were really experiencing that.
Please tell
I bet
me
that
we can
stuck with
find
you.
this on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, it's on YouTube. It's on my channel. So if you go to YouTube and you look up Rhea Raj American Idol, it is there.
Were you wearing the headdress?
Yes, I was wearing
that beautiful headdress. I love that. That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like 15, and I was like, this is gonna be my style for the rest of my life. So let me just get on TV and tell the world. And then I never knew how to
It's
get
great though. I mean, you had such confidence at such a young age. I know you said you kind of came in and out of dancing, but I mean, you got to have that kind of confidence to go out there at 15.
You do. And then I'll tell you the tragic downfall of the show. So I did that audition. They sent me to Hollywood. It was super exciting. Then they aired that. That's the one that's on YouTube. And then it was like a couple months of just like training. I dropped out of school, and I switched not dropped out. I switched to online school for a year.
Okay. Yeah, you technically dropped out.
Yeah, I kind of dropped out. By Indian standards, my parents were like,
yeah.
Girl, I feel that on a spiritual level.
No, for real. I'm so grateful for how supportive they were. They were like, okay, you know, if you're gonna go for this, you have to do it, but you have to put your like whole like heart and soul into it. So, you know, I was like up every day, 7 a.m., finishing my schoolwork by like 10. Then I was like training, dance, vocals, everything, for the rest of the day. But yeah, so I was training for months, and then came Hollywood week. So they flew me out to LA. Super excited. It was like a week of performances, and I came down with the flu the night before my first performance.
Oh no.
And I was like, you know, I'm here. I'm going to still get on stage, and I'm going to, you know, do my thing. And it was just the most embarrassing thing in the world. My voice was gone. It was like a little whisper. And this was different from the first audition, because I was on stage like at the Dolby Theater, which is where they host the Oscars. So it's like a big, beautiful stage.
Yeah.
And there's an audience there. There's also the TV crew, everything. And I was just heartbroken because I got eliminated. And I was like, you know, it's even getting eliminated was sad, but more so the thought of that performance airing like crushed me.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my God, people are gonna think I suck. They're gonna make so much fun of me on the show. And so it was like, they didn't say anything. It was like a few more months of like just waiting around. And I was like, oh my God, I went back home, and I was like, one day it's gonna air. And then it was so stressful. And then they didn't air it. And so I was like, oh my God, thank God. But that whole experience was just like such a big up and down roller coaster at, you know, like a pretty young age. Yeah, it taught me about rejection. It taught me about, you know, how to be able to perform and kind of wing things, do things last minute, which is like just a skill. Is, you know, even outside of entertainment, you need to have any field. And that was a whole thing. But overall, like, looking back now, I'm grateful I didn't, you know, make it past that. And there's all this footage of me from when I was little, because I think that would be more embarrassing.
Yeah, that's true. You'd be sticking with that headdress, wouldn't you?
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, so if you want to go watch that audition, it is on YouTube. It is all over the internet.
I am totally gonna watch it after the show. And quick, like, bonus question: do you keep in touch at all still with the American Idol judges at all, or has that kind of fizzled out?
I wish I could say I have J-Lo's number, and, you know, just like, talking to her like,
someday soon. No worries, you guys will be collaborating on something for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
She'll remember you.
That's right.
For sure. I think the craziest thing. Oh, sorry. Oh
no, yeah, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, like, after the show, I like ended up, so I did a bunch of YouTube covers, and I was doing like kind of these like Bollywood remixes of pop songs. And so BB Rexa had a song called I Got You, which I loved. And so I did like a remix of that song. I was like 16, and I put that up on YouTube. And that was like my first video that ever went viral. And I was like, why is this going crazy? I woke up one day and I saw that she tweeted about it. And I was
Get
like,
it,
oh my
girl.
God. And then I went on my Instagram. She posted my video on her Instagram feed. This was like 2016. I was like freaking out. I was like, what? And then a few days later, MTV reached out to me and they were like, hey, we saw this cover. We saw BB Rexa posting it. Like, we would love to like share this. And I was like, oh my God, yes. I was like, everything is like work. That was like my first moment after getting kicked off of American Idol, that I was like, oh my God, there is so much more outside of this, and there will be so much more. And
Yeah,
like,
so tell us a little bit about like when you really did start seeing this success in your career. I mean, was that sort of a jumping off point?
I mean, there's like one thing after another. Like, the YouTube stuff started picking up. MTV kind of picked up some more of my covers. And then when I was during my after American Idol as a teenager, I was just getting like all these DJs from around the world reaching out to me, asking me to top line their songs. So I did like, people don't know this because it's not on my like Spotify or on my page, but I have like 50 songs out of just my songwriting and vocals on like these EDM songs. Some of them with like Sony, some of them with like big major labels, some of them with some major EDM labels. And you know, like Tiesto and all my favorite, like Avicii, like all these huge DJs
That's
were
incredible.
playing these songs. Yeah, so I have my little EDM face for a minute.
Boss lady. Get
Yeah,
it. That's amazing.
that was
So
fun.
I would gather that probably some of the biggest challenges that you faced included, not making it, to the finale of American Idol. But what other like major challenges would you say that you faced in regards to your career, as well as like what
Mhm.
other rewards have you had up to this point?
Yeah, so I just moved to LA a year ago, and so I went to school at NYU in New York. So I was there for the last couple of years, and it's like a constant, you know, like for every yes, there's like a billion no's, and
Hmm.
people, you only share your successes, right? So people don't really see all of the work you're putting in that doesn't make it, that doesn't, you know, go where exactly you want it to go. And so I signed my deal about like a year ago and moved here to LA. And I actually met the team that I'm working with right now. I met them while I was a freshman at NYU, and that was a huge blessing. So I signed with them, writing and producing the last year, like working on my own music, you know, like Venom that just came out. I have a lot of music on Spotify and YouTube and everything, but I also write and produce for other artists. So coming back full circle, like this past summer, I got to work with BB Rexa, which was crazy because I was like, oh my
No
God.
way.
Yeah, she shared my
Awesome.
song when I was 16, and now like a few years later, like I'm in the studio with her, and that was, you know, super surreal. But also like I write a lot of songs every day that don't make it. Like I love Charlie Puth, and he's an insane artist, so incredibly talented. In the studio with him a couple like 2 years ago, that song is just kind of like, there's so much music that's like, oh my God, it's just gonna make it to this artist, and then it doesn't. That's kind of like a little letdown. There's so many little challenges and hurdles every day, but there's also like um a lot of rewards, and you have to remind yourself, you know, like as creative people, like I feel like we don't take the time to look at our accomplishments and be like, oh my God, like this is cool. So last year, or I guess it's been 2 years now, in 2020 I was named one of the like honorees of the Songwriter Hall of Fame, which is crazy. So the year that
Yeah, I
Mariah
saw that. That's
Carey,
insane.
Big
yeah,
congratulations to you on
yeah,
that.
thank you so much. Thank you. This was during COVID. Another time where like being an artist and a musician like seemed really like stressful and scary. And it was like, okay, what is the future going to look like for music without live shows and all of this stuff? And then they presented Mariah Carey that year with like the Hall of Fame, and then they gave me this award. It was given to me and this one other producer that I'm really good friends with. And so that was just like a moment for me where I was like, okay, like people in the industry and people I look up to are like, you know, giving me this this award, and it's just like a feeling of validation, like, okay, keep going, keep going. Even just little successes like seeing my fans and seeing people like on TikTok making really cool videos with Venom and like all my songs, that's like the best feeling in the world, because okay,
Amazing.
yeah, it's like the people that support me and like my music are like really vibing with it, and they're making their own content and like, you know, creating their own stories around my songs. And like that's the biggest win for me at the end of the day, is just like knowing my music is making other people feel empowered and good about themselves, and just like
And
people can love
engaging
me.
in it, and like really, I mean,
Yes.
that's the most rewarding thing, hearing, oh god, I love your art, Sarah, or I bought,
Mm-hmm.
another Women in Weapon, or I'm
Yeah,
listening to your song and doing this. I mean, for an artist, that's what it is. You want to connect with people, and you want them, if they don't take it the exact way that you put it out there, they take it and make it their own. I mean, I think that's huge.
exactly.
And I'm going to do a quick pivot real quick. So one thing that I want to say is, we're seeing more and more women coming into this Web3 space and the NFT space. Previously it's been kind of notoriously, been kind of like a boys club, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
now more and more of us women are getting in, and you're like early because you're early as a woman, but you're also early to the NFT space, but you're also early to music in
Hmm.
NFTs, which is really cool. And I'm really impressed that you're pivoting so early into this space. And so I'm curious, like, how did you get involved in the NFT community and like find out about it?
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how early it is, because like people are like, like especially on the music side, like it's so similar. Like there's just not enough women getting like the representation in the music industry as writers and producers, and like women in the NFT space are like really killing it, and like, I feel like starting to get the attention that, we deserve. And so as a musician, I just think like I basically like started. I first heard the word NFT in a session last year, and I was working with this producer, and he was like, we were writing a song, and one of the lyrics was something about like an NFT, and I was like, what does this mean? And so he like explained it
That's
to me.
awesome.
I was like, what? And immediately, like, the first thing I thought of when he kind of explained it to me was like, oh my God, like Club Penguin. When I was little, I used to play Club Penguin all the time. And I asked my parents to buy me like the special igloo. I don't know if you guys played Club Penguin, but
What is
having the
Club
special
Penguin?
igloo, oh my God. It was this website, and it was this game you would play. Like it was like a little club. You were a penguin. You had your little igloo, and you go around like saying, meeting
Rhea,
other
Dane and I are
penguins.
old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we
It
know
was
about Pokemon.
Club Penguin was everything. It was so fun. And you would
I'm
have your little
sure.
pets. You would have your little puffle. It was like a little puffy pet. And like I think there was like a rainbow puffle maybe. There was all these different colored puffles. I feel like look at all these people in the audience who
Okay,
know.
and I gotta say, Saf, I think, is around your age, and she is also Indian and an artist, and so she's like vibing with you real hard right now. So
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
God. I love
Looking it
that. Hi,
up, I
Saf.
do I do recognize this. I know what this is. I wasn't in it, but I remember seeing this.
Yeah, Club Penguin was amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of the same thing. It's like you're like part of this community, and you want like the cool igloo, and the art was fun to like look at, and you're making friends. Um and so like immediately it made sense to me, and I was like, this is cool. And then over the summer, like I just saw all my music, like not a lot, like some of my music friends were posting like their apes and like all of these things, and I was like, what is going on? So I had some people kind of sit down and go like explain everything to me in depth, and I set up my wallet, and was exploring OpenSea, and my boyfriend is huge in the space. Shout out Gino the Ghost. He's amazing. And he was like, he sent me this collection called Fatales. Super boss woman. I love Fatales. And that was my first NFT I ever bought. And I was like, oh my God, this looks like me. Like, it's a female artist named Liz. She's fire. So yeah, I got that. That was my first NFT. And I was like, I'm going to rock this as my profile picture. And I felt so cool doing that. And then, yeah, I just spent like a couple months collecting art that I really loved and just going on Discord and meeting people. And the biggest thing for me was just like, oh my God, people in this space are like just so much ahead of music and entertainment, and in terms of like the tech, but also just the way that people support one another. And and obviously there's like the bad side of it too, and there's people who are like weird or whatever, but overall there's like
Are you
that's like
calling us
everything.
out?
No, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. But overall, I was like, oh my God, like people actually want to support artists and people in the
Yeah.
NFT
Big
space.
time.
Yeah, it just felt like a community that I feel like it's kind of been lost, or in music, just so like all over the place, with all these like platforms and just stuff. Like, it just feels so kind of chaotic at times. And so I was like, okay, clearly like I'm really passionate about this space, and I like was starting to kind of explore the music side of like the NFT world, and I was like, okay, there's some cool stuff going on, but it's still so untapped into, like, and a few people are kind of doing some things, but I was like, okay, as an artist and as a female artist, like how can I connect with other like female creators and investors and like just people in the space and see like what we can do together. So that's why like I love Women and Weapons, and then me, like we started talking about ideas. Sarah's incredible, and so whether it's collaborating with like female collections and creating music, doing music art collaborations, I think that's so much fun. And then on my own too, I'm working on my own collections that are gonna be
Oh,
music.
you are?
Yes, I am.
Get
I
it,
just
girl.
recently, I literally just made my Discord. It's in my bio. So, if you guys want to come
Oh,
say
yeah, I
hi,
saw it.
Yeah, join Rhea's Discord community,
yeah,
guys.
it's called the Rheaverse because, I was like, that made me, I like woke up one day and I was like, oh my God, this is what it has to be called. And I'm super excited. So come join the Rheaverse.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like Discord because I know like NFT people have lots of problems with it, but coming from music, it's the first platform like where you can like really connect with your community and talk to
Yes.
people and share things. Because with Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, like you kind of just share information and you can have conversations, but Discord feels so intimate, and I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah, like it really does feel like a community once you get plugged in and people come
Exactly.
in there for that whole purpose. I do love that you said one of the things you were just saying is that like it's kind of missing now in the music space, and you see that in the NFT space. And I think a big part of that, like you said, is that it's very young, and it hasn't had the time to get rigid and build all the structures that like the music industry has and a lot of the other art places have. So there still is that vibe to help others create and be on the same team and support one another. And Discord is a huge way to do that. And I think you getting in, like Sara was saying, and trying to build something in the music space as a female artist is going to be huge. And so that's so cool that you're going to be doing your own collection. Is there any more that you can kind of tell us on that? Any other collaborations or cool things happening in the NFT space for you?
Yeah, so a couple of things like on my own projects. What I'm working on right now is like I have a lot of music coming out this year that I'm releasing as singles. So I just released a song on Friday called In Your Hands, and it's a beautiful little ballad, super romantic, for Valentine's Day. And the cover art for it was created by this incredible artist named Sleep Tight. And so we worked on like so many different variations of the cover art. And so I was like, oh my God, this would be so fire to drop all of these as like a little collection and basically have like a little collection around each of my releases that I'm doing, and like have that as like just like cool art that I like, that people like will really like fuck with, and also like take all of that and put it back into my future releases, you know? So basically I think like independent artists right now, like we have so many tools at our disposal, like with TikTok and Instagram, like all these like platforms to kind of grow and build our community. But now with the NFT space, having people like that really support your art and music and want to kind of act as your label in a sense, they will be there to like, you know, support you, help you keep creating music and art, and then you're giving back to them, you know, you're giving them cool art, you're giving them, you know, like a brand they can invest in and feel like they're part of as that grows. So there's like an interesting structure there that I'm exploring with my own thing, but also collaboration wise, I am going to be at South by Southwest in Austin in March doing some performances.
Yay!
Including, I'm gonna be DJing, performing with the doodles. You can see my profile picture. It's my little doodle over there.
Welcome back to Texas.
Yes, I'm so excited. So what's crazy is I lived in Texas for 8 years, and I played one show my whole life at South by when I was like a fetus, when I was like literally like 15 or 16. I was like 14. Oh my gosh, I was a 14. And since then, this will be my first time coming back for South by, so I'm super pumped. And to be like performing with the doodles is gonna be so sick. So yeah, if you guys are gonna be down there, come out.
We would love that. That would be so cool to come see you play.
I met the Doodles team in Miami, and they are a cool group of people. That sounds like it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. The way I met them, too, was also just like a crazy story of just fate and how some people are just meant to be in, you know, other people's lives. Like, so I was just kind of getting into the space, like, you know, at the end of summer. And then one of my friends from New York, who's like in the music industry, he was, his family was like, you know, we were doing Thanksgiving together with my family here in LA, and they had just also moved to LA from New York. So we're like, let's do Thanksgiving together. He was like, hey, my friends are in town from Canada. They're really cool. They just founded this collection called Doodles. You know, like I know Rhea's getting the space. I think it'd be cool, like, for them to connect. We were like, yeah, of course. So we ended up having this huge Thanksgiving at my house with their team, a bunch of other friends. And yeah, we like just vibed, and it was such a good like energy and friendship there. And then we went to Basel, Art Basel in Miami in December. And we went to their events, and it was so much fun. It was just like, oh, that was like fate, you know, meant to be.
That's
with them. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
So you had like a Friendsgiving with the Doodles, and meanwhile, me and Dane were having Friendsgiving here in Texas.
That's true. We did. It was just the four of us.
Yeah,
that's fun.
We had a very small Friendsgiving.
But it felt like fate too.
Yeah, 2022. We got to do a big Friendsgiving here in LA.
Let me know, sister. I will be there happily. I am curious as well. What are some interesting ways that you think that music is going to help the NFT community?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many things. I mean, I think that, you know, I think like music on its own, there's just so much like music that's constantly being released every day, and so many artists putting out music independently. I feel like with like the NFT space, I feel like there's so much generative art and just like visual art that we're seeing right now, and just like bringing in more music stuff, like whether it's music collaborations like with the visual art side. I think it's just gonna be like bringing in a huge part of the entertainment and like art industry that's not
Totally.
already there, and just gonna open it up to like cool collaborations with like musicians and producers and writers. I mean, I see it like the other way. I think like the NFT space is what's gonna really be huge for music and change the way things are structured right now, and just open up a whole new world for artists to be able to grow their community and to be able to connect with people and like have like a different relationship with fans. Also, because
Yeah,
like right
yeah, I bet
now,
that'll be huge.
yeah, it's gonna be huge because like right now you could have millions of people streaming your music, but that doesn't mean, you know, everybody's gonna come support you live, or that doesn't necessarily mean everybody's gonna buy your merch and invest in you. And like the way with like that it works with this space is like you don't need millions of people. You need like a couple hundred, even maybe like a couple thousand people that really believe in your art and your message and what you're doing, and you know, see the long-term vision. So I mean, I think it's yeah, huge for the music space.
And it's really cool kind of seeing
Yeah.
too, like how so many different areas are starting to integrate into the NFT space. Like we talked to Tom Colicchio and Chef Spike Mendelsohn,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
a
that
month
was a great show.
ago, and they're integrating the food industry into NFTs. You're integrating the musical industry into NFTs. Of course, myself with art. But then you see people also like Gary, who it's going to be very much like these experiences integrated into NFTs. So everybody's bringing something really cool to the NFT area. There's going to be a lot of room for opportunities for so many different industries to be here and grow. And I think it's a great thing that we're here early. And not only that,
Mhm.
women who are representing early in the space, which is awesome. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think that's huge. And there's going to be, I think we don't necessarily even know how all of this is going to pan out. You know, the NFTs feel sort of like that, the gateway drug that brings everybody in and they kind of see this community that's using the art, and then different, you know, creative outlets and different creative people are sort of coming in and seeing this. And I feel like we're going to find so many different ways, like through the way that the Chefty Pizzas guys are doing their thing, and the way that the musicians are coming in and going to do theirs. And but I think it's hard sometimes to really know. But I think one thing that will be huge is it's going to be sort of a co-opt of like a branding ability for smaller artists to be able to get recognition and obviously plug into the communities. You know, like you were saying, and you know, kind of on that point, what would be your advice or the direction you would sort of give if another musician was sort of thinking about getting into the NFT space besides following your lead?
No, I would. I mean, I think it's like overwhelming, like you were saying, like in a really good way, just how big and how much growth there is, like, and how early it is, and all the different kind of ways, like, as an artist, you can get into the space. I mean, I would definitely say, like, you know, jumping in, like you want to jump in, you want to learn, and you want to connect with people before you just kind of release music or something as an NFT, and you're like, oh, let me just drop a song as an NFT or something. Like, it's so much deeper than that, and I think there's just so
Mm-hmm.
much more that you can do, you know, in terms of like long term, like how are you like bringing, you know, value and excitement to your fans who are already, you know, who already have been supporting you, but also like bringing new people into the space. I mean, bringing like new people in the space into like your project, and like, okay, now what's going to excite them? Like, why are they going to, I think people are still kind of scared to invest in music, some like, and it's like, okay, because we've been listening to music for free, you know, like you pay whatever, $9.99 a month for every song in the world. So it's like, okay, now why am I going to be spending like so much money on a song? Like, what's the point of that? And so just thinking of creative ways that like you're gonna excite people, you know, beyond the music, like whether it's, for me, like I'm playing so many live shows this year. So if you're going to like buy my NFT for In Your Hands or like one of those pieces, you know, I want to like actually be able to meet you at one of my shows. I want to be able to like build
Exactly.
live experiences, and like it's a whole world, you know. It's not just about releasing like pieces and stuff, I think. And if you
And
want to
that
do that, like that's cool, but I mean, yeah.
No, but I mean that's a lot of what I'm starting to hear now is like you can purchase that NFT to be utilized as like your ticket to get into, you know, your concert or something of that sort, or to be able
Mm-hmm.
to have an opportunity to go meet you or have like a one-on-one session with you or whatever. I mean, there's so many different uses for these NFTs that are going to be so great for like different sort of experiences with music and with you. Oh, and by the way, we got a special guest.
Rhea!
Hi.
Hey, this is Jake. I just got done with work, and I have one question for you, sister. When is Women in Weapons X Rhea coming? What the heck?
Oh
We
my
need a song, girl.
God. I'm ready. Let's go. I mean, when me and Sarah were talking a couple weeks ago, well, first of all, I love Women in Weapons because my song Venom, I was like, this is literally like
Yes.
100%.
the same thing. Um, let's go. Let's make fun
Yes. That's what I love to hear.
one-on-ones. So many.
Yes. I think our community is going to be so down for a Women and Weapons song by Rhea Raj. We are all about it.
Yes, I'm so excited. I love your project so much. And the whole community is just like incredible too and super supportive, full of badass girls. And the guys too are super supportive. So I'm excited. Let's do it.
Now, as a fellow Middle Eastern gal, I'm kind of curious. You know, you have a really unique sound and vibe. I'd like to hear a little bit about like your importance of representing your cultural heritage in your music, and if you found it to be like rewarding or difficult or all the above, or how it's been.
Yeah, I had like an interesting relationship with my culture and my background growing up because I was born and raised in the US and I lived in Texas for many years and I was like the only brown kid like in my community.
Feel
Um,
that? Yep.
yeah, so I like grew up like just not like trying to get like really far away from that as much as possible. And I still loved like, you know, my Bollywood movies and my Arabic music and stuff, but like just culturally myself like didn't want to identify with that. And I got made fun of for it all the time growing up. So I was just like didn't want anything to do with it. And then as I got older and I started kind of like I think I moved to New York and I just got thrown into this situation where it was like everybody is coming from like a different background. So many like people from all over the world who are so proud of their heritage. And I was like, oh my God, why have I been like ignoring this for so long? This is so cool. And it's sad to say this, but also like, I mean, seeing like people take parts of like my culture and like being so proud of it, whether it's like the spirituality, the clothing, the fashion, all of that, and being like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I was like, excuse me, this is like where I come from. This is like my thing. And so I started feeling like super, like just proud of it, you know, like as an
Wow.
adult. And I was like, damn, like, what, like, this is cool, you know, like outside of all of these people, like, telling me it's cool, or outside of all these people, like, finally realizing, I was like, this is just like, this is who I am. Like, I have to
Yeah,
embrace.
you really realized it. That's cool.
And
Yeah.
I had a very similar experience to you. Of course, like I was, I don't know, like 10 or so whenever 9/11 happened. And after
Mm-hmm.
11, I really got picked on a lot for being Middle Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like stuffed that down, like really tried to suppress like my culture and everything. And then whenever I reached like, I think my late teens, early 20s, I was like, you know what? Like, I freaking love my culture. I love all the color that
Mm-hmm.
it has in so many different like areas, and I am so like down to just represent the crap out of it. And so I am like so proud to say I'm an Iranian American now. And you know, I've been back and forth to Iran my entire life, and I'm so proud of what a beautiful culture and people and country and everything that it is. So I'm so happy to hear that, you know, you're really expressing it, because your culture is truly so beautiful, and I'm glad that you're sharing it.
Yeah, no, it's such a beautiful process, like rediscovering that part of your identity and like being proud of it. I went back to India when I was like 17, And I was like, oh my God, the food is so good. Like, this is such a beautiful place. And like, literally woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to embrace this part of myself. I'm going to be proud of it and talk about it and bring those influences into my music in a way that feels like authentic. I never want to force it and be like, oh my God, I'm going to take this song and do this. Like, it has to feel natural. And it's
Yeah,
fine.
authentic to you and who you are. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And now it's just like when I write songs like Venom, like there's just melodies and stuff that come out of me that just have that kind of sounds and like have that melodic kind of like influence that I don't even think about anymore. It's just kind of natural. And so that's such a great feeling.
And can I say as well, like, I love music that samples like traditional music from Middle Eastern cultures. I don't know why, but like those are always the songs. Well, I guess I do know why, but those are always the songs I tend to vibe with the most.
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing like those Middle Eastern samples here and there in music. So that's super awesome. I'm ecstatic about it. And I can't wait to hear all the incredible things that you create.
Yeah, it's going to be
Thank
really cool to
you.
watch you continue to use your background and be able to make more and more new things. And we're so happy to have you in the NFT space to see how that's going to go. And,
Yeah.
keep bringing the heat, keep being a boss lady. We absolutely love it. And I'm excited. I hope you guys do a Women in Weapons song. That would be super cool.
That would be so sick for sure.
Yeah, it really would be. So hey, we're running a little low on time, so I think it would be great if we opened the floor up to questions from the audience. If anybody has any, please feel free to raise your hand, and I'll try and get you up here to be able to ask. We definitely have a really cool artist up here with a lot of experience already at such a young age. So definitely feel free to ask a question, and Sarah will keep an eye on Discord and see if anybody's popping up in there.
And
Yay.
I do want to throw in there real quick. We have somebody from our community that posted in Discord. She wanted you to know her name's April, the tribe kangaroo. She
Oh my
said,
Oh, I
God.
love her.
39, and I know what Penguin Club is. She
Yeah.
said her girls played when they were younger. They would play on the computer. So we do have somebody older than Dane and myself who knows what Penguin Club is.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't believe we didn't know what that was. I mean, I know I had seen the designs and stuff before, but that was definitely a little bit out of our old range.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's still a thing. Maybe it probably still is a thing. But it was really fun. I would definitely recommend.
you know what's so funny is like if anybody was going to know about it, it would definitely be Dane because he's like the video game master. Meanwhile, like I am obsessed with being outside pretty much all the time, so I like never dabble in video games at all. So I'm shocked that Dane doesn't know what Penguin Club is.
Well, it's not like a normal video game. It's like a child game. I'm not playing children's games all day.
Yeah.
But, there's a chance it could have come across. I like a little bit more intense video games nowadays.
Rhea, I
Mhm.
have a question for you. I just thought of
Yes. What's
who
up?
is your dream artist, like musical artist, to collaborate or work with?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have like a few, so I have to name all of them. Um, Number one would probably be Bad Bunny. I think
Okay.
doing I think doing like a pop Bollywood Latin collaboration would just shake the world up. So that has to happen one day. I'm manifesting it right now on this space with you guys. So that's number one. And then Timbaland's and Rosalia. I listen to a lot of Latin music, and so definitely, yeah, those are my top three.
Excellent. I love it. Well, I love Bad Bunny, by the way. So I'm totally here for that and I'm ready for it to happen.
Let's go.
Yeah, that would be a sick collab for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, squad. We are going to go ahead and sign out, but I want everybody to know that this space was recorded. So I know that we had a few people jump in on Discord that were not able to tune in live, but they do want to tune into the recorded show. So it will be recorded and it will be on our Twitter. This will also be eventually turned into a YouTube video for everybody to be able to share later on. But Rhea, thank you so much for coming on. We are stoked for a Women in Weapons and Rhea collaboration. So we'll have to get rolling on that.
Yes, I'm super excited. We definitely have to get that going soon. And thank you guys so much for having me and for all of you here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so glad you got to come on and hang out with us, for real. It was so cool getting to hear your story and your background, and I'm excited to see what, you know, the NFT and music space can do together, because I think it's going to be huge, and I'm so glad you're here to do it.
Yes, it's definitely going to be huge. And do we have any questions or anything?
Well, some people are just commenting over here saying that they love your top 3.
Yes.
Is your DJing with the doodles, is that going to be filmed or anything for us to like see clips for anybody who doesn't make it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll definitely make sure we get some video of that so everybody can see that after. Definitely.
We love it so much. Rhea, thank you so much for your time tonight. Again, everybody, this was Good Humans with Women and Weapons. We are so happy that you were on tonight and that you listened in. If you did miss out, this space was recorded and it will be on YouTube later on so that everybody can share. Oh, and we have one last minute question.
All right.
The Shay Show?
Hey guys, hey Rhea. I don't have a question. I know we're hopping off, but I actually met Rhea in person briefly on Friday night at an NFT event. And I'm Pakistani American, first generation, South Asian. I just wanted to echo and say what a badass both Sara and Rhea are for what you guys are doing. And yeah, especially for Rhea to just be doing what she's doing as a South Asian. I know myself, like, it's very hard to have, especially in the beginning, like, it can be very hard to have the courage to be yourself and pursue these creative paths, especially in this space. So that is just badass. And I just wanted to echo that as a South Asian woman myself. So yeah, awesome chat.
Yeah. Hey girl, thank you for joining. And yeah, representation is everything.
And thank you so much for the kind words. I love that you came on, and I'm happy that you're able to be represented here as well, you know, between myself and Rhea. So thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for hosting, and thank you for doing these kinds of things. It's really important and it matters.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And Rhea, we do have, oh my gosh, sorry. Now the questions are rolling in over here.
Let's go. Let's
just have a couple minutes. What are your top NFT projects that you love?
Ooh, okay. So, shout out Women in Weapons, of course. We love Women in Weapons. I love the doodles, of course, you know, my profile picture. I love Deadfellas, also, you know, female-led projects, and Fatales, because it was the first one I ever got. And yeah, the art's so sick.
Awesome. And that one was from T Money Bobo in our Discord. And we have one last one that I'm going to ask real quick. And this one's also from April, the Tribe Kangaroo. She wants to know how many NFTs you currently own.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I think I have like 15 or something right now.
Nice.
Two of them were Rhea Raj, like, honorary ones. Shout out, I think Wunks is in here. Oh yeah, Wunks is in here. Hi. Wunks just gave me a Rhea Raj one, which was so cute. I love it so much. So thank you guys for that. Ether Gals just made me a custom one too, a one of one. Yeah, I also have a Fluff World and a Party Bear. I know Gino's in here and he's the Fluff King. Yeah, I think I have like 15, yeah.
Awesome. I feel like I don't even know how many I have, like, too many. It's easy to just keep collecting them, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like I have so many that I want, and I'm like, okay, one at a time.
Oh yeah, no, NFTs are like potato chips. You can't have just one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like getting to a point now where it was my mom's birthday last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was so close to giving her an NFT instead of like a real present. And I was like, okay, I like got my parents into it. My dad has a dead fella. My mom like got her first NFT and she had her first little sale, so she was super excited. I was like, okay, we're like eventually we're gonna just be getting to a point where we're just gifting each other NFTs.
Hey, we're already there. I feel like a huge number of people from our community were gifting NFTs over the holidays, so I'm totally
Yeah, it seemed like they were.
yeah.
I
I've
love
got tons that I want, so I'm all
Yep,
about it. But
me
Rhea,
too.
again, thank you so much for coming on this evening. We really appreciate it. And thank you everybody who tuned in and everybody who asked questions. We will see you all next week on Good Humans with Women and Weapons. And in the meantime, please go check out all of Rhea's incredible music. And don't forget to check out that OG American Idol. Yes, I'm about to go check that one out right now. But again, thank you so much, Rhea. We will talk to you later and get rolling on that song together.
Yes, let's go. Rhea Raj and Women and Weapons. Thank you guys so much. Sending lots of love.
Sending you lots of love. Have a great evening.
Night,
Yes.
everyone.
Bye.